crazy? How you already know what you need to do, you have the time and all the things you need to do it, but you're still not doing it. You've already watched tons of YouTube videos about beating procrastination and tried all the popular methods out there, only to find yourself still procrastinating. I think I know what you need. You need science to make the very things that are working against you to make them work for you. In this video, you're going to learn how to hack your brain. Let's go. Let's dive right into it. Hack number 1. Train yourself like a dog. Yes, you actually can train your mind like you would a dog. We can train our mind to make a positive association to the thing that we are avoiding. Because the reason that we are avoiding a certain task is because we perceive them to be uncomfortable. And that's it. The more painful we perceive a task to be, the more we'll avoid it. So let's take a look at how dog trainers do it. When they are trying to introduce something new to a dog, they do it slowly. And they give the dog so many rewards while introducing them to this very thing. For example, a harness or a leash. They're going slowly at it. They make strong associations with a reward. So at the beginning, they just let the dog sniff the harness and they get a treat. And then immediately the harness gets taken away. And they repeat this like 3, 5, 10 times until the dog is not scared of it anymore. And then they slowly start putting it on the dog, while still giving the dog lots of treats until the dog feels pretty comfortable having it on and walking around. And the dog is happy. And here are the steps how we can apply this principle to ourselves. First, we choose a task that we're avoiding and that we want to make a positive association with. And then we're going to start as small as possible, stupidly small, and gradually build up to something more challenging. But at first, just start as simple as you can go, because this gradual exposure helps your subconscious mind to adapt without feeling overwhelmed. Second, we pair the task with a positive reward, aka something that gives you pleasure or satisfaction. Some example might be your favorite snack, listening to your favorite music. You can light a candle that you like. You can reward yourself with scrolling on social media or watching a few minutes of your comfort series. You can make yourself a tea or a cup of coffee, or you can text a friend or call with them. Or what you can do is you can make a small celebratory gesture towards yourself. You can give yourself a fist bump, a high five, pat yourself on the back, or tell yourself, wow, I'm very proud of you. Wow, good job. Well done. But disclaimer, don't make these rewards hurt your progress and prevent further victories. For example, if you want to lose weight and after you go to the gym, you reward yourself with a whole chocolate cake. That kind of doesn't work. Or when you're trying to beat phone addiction and you go like 3 hours without your phone, then your reward kind of shouldn't be scrolling on your phone for half an hour. Makes sense. So now your brain will start to associate the task with all the positive feelings and emotions you get from the reward. And make sure to give yourself the reward immediately after. And you can be really heavy on the rewards at first, because you're really trying to build a positive association with it. Because as soon as you have a negative association with something, you start to avoid it. And this is what we're trying to change, so that you don't avoid it in the future. And the third step is do it consistently. Because as soon as you revert back to work, meaning pain, the sooner you will revert back to avoidance and procrastination. Terry Crews did an Ask Me Anything on Reddit a few years ago, and he had this amazing answer. He was asked how to stay consistent with the gym. And he talks about when you're procrastinating going to the gym is to make the gym feel rewarding in itself. That going to the gym feels like a reward. He calls it treat the gym like a spa. You don't have to go to the gym to work out. You can just go to the gym, sit there, read a book, and go home again. Because sooner or later you will work out. It's about making this positive association with going to the gym. Science hack number 2. Hack your dopamine system. Dopamine actually has nothing to do with reward, but with craving to seek rewards. If you would take away all the dopamine from someone's brain and would still give them delicious food, TV, coffee or cola, sugary drinks, and all the things you tend to enjoy, they would still feel pleasure in their brains. They would still enjoy these things. But as soon as you place these things a few meters away from them, they would not pursue them, which is huge. For this hack to work, I want to explain shortly to you how your dopamine system works. Your dopamine levels, they fall and rise like waves. And for every peak, there's an equal-sized trough following it. Peaks happen after stimulating activities, like eating food, playing games, taking substances, etc. And the troughs are when your dopamine levels dip. And that's when you experience discomfort. And this discomfort pushes you to reach another peak. It pushes you to seek another dopamine hit. That's why social media is so addicting. And it's motivating you to take action, to relieve this pain and craving inside of yourself. So how can we leverage the system? We do this by leveraging discomfort. When you engage in a short, uncomfortable activity, this triggers your dopamine motivation system. And this is how you do it. You first need to trigger discomfort. And you do this by doing a manageable, uncomfortable thing. For example, taking a cold shower, or doing a set of push-ups, holding a plank, or doing something else that feels extremely uncomfortable to you. Don't hurt yourself, don't do anything extreme, but it should be very uncomfortable. And this mimics this feeling of being in a trough in your dopamine system, because right now you're in this very uncomfortable lower state, and your brain really wants to go to the higher state, and therefore you get this motivation to reach it. And which is why it kickstarts your motivation to reach it. And what you do next is you take immediate action on the thing that you're avoiding, and it helps you overcome the initial resistance of starting, because this discomfort-induced state helps you to overcome the initial resistance to starting, and from then on you just ride the momentum. For the next hack, you need to make the boring exciting. Our brain thrives off novelty. If something feels new to you, it will trigger a stronger motivational impulse. So now look at your thing that you're avoiding and add some novelty into it. For example, if it's going to the gym. I don't know why no one talks about it, but going to the gym is so boring. You go there multiple times per week, every week for the rest of your life, and you do the same 5 exercises. That's boring! Of course you don't wanna go. So therefore, add some novelty to the mix. You can try a different kind of exercise, like yoga, tai chi, pilates, HIIT workouts, working out with friends, joining a group, doing a course, doing a class, trying a new machine or exercise. Because the more novelty you can add into something that you already did, the more it will increase your motivation and trigger a positive dopamine response. AKA, the more different something is, the easier it will be to do it. And this is why video games are so addicting, because there's always something new happening. And some ideas how you can add some novelty to your thing. You can first change up your environment. You can do your homework or your work in a different room, or you can rearrange your furniture to make it look new, or you can go to a cafe where you can do your work instead of doing it from home where you always do it. Another things you can do is to add a social component. For example, you could make a study group with your friends. You just sit all together in a room and everyone studies their own thing. The next thing you can do is you can change up the order. Your task has specific steps. For example, you can change your order of the exercises you do in the gym. It might not be the most effective way now, but it will be different as long as you don't hurt yourself. Or you can use a new tool or a new gadget. For example, you could use a different pen or a new app. Another thing is you can add some background music. A hack I have here for you is to listen to cinematic background music, because this music is engineered in a way that captivates the audience. It makes you more focused on the task. Another way is you can involve your senses. You can light a scented candle. You can make yourself a snack that you can eat while doing the thing. Or you can hold a stress ball that you can like squish at the same time. And the last idea I have for you here is you can add some gamification to the task. You can turn this task more into a game. You can set yourself a timer, or you can count the progress that you're making, like drawing a progress bar or keeping a jar of marbles where you can like put all the marbles in there when you complete a task, etc. Hack number 4. Use negative emotions to fuel your motivation. It's great to have a life purpose and a big why and the reason on why you're doing the things that you're doing. But what if things get hard? And what if you don't have this purpose in your life right now that keeps you going? And in those moments, you leverage your negative emotions. Or as Truthless calls it, whose video inspired this hack, tap into your dark why. We are taught to do things out of love, purpose, enjoyment, friendship, sunshine, and flowers, which are all very great things. But if you can't tap into these positive, feel-good emotions, then use your negative emotions. Tap into these forbidden, dark, and evil emotions. Feelings like anger, jealousy, insecurity, hate, competition, shame, fears, fear of death, fear of failure, fear of living a miserable life, self-hate, hating someone else, etc. And you use these things to kickstart your motivation and to help you keep going when things get rough. You can also use all of your current pain and annoyances in your life as motivation. For example, you could hate the place you're living in. You could hate the people you're living with, the city you're living in. You might hate your landlord or your neighbors. Or you might hate looking in the mirror. You hate not being fit enough. Or you hate being lazy and unsuccessful. Or you might even hate who you are. And don't see all this hate and pain and all these negative feelings that you have as something bad and try to suppress them. But use them instead to make yourself a better life. But a quick reminder, this hack is not a sustainable solution. It's amazing for getting started or when you need help to keep going. But as you can already sense, this is kind of toxic and it will hurt you in the long run. Because you can't hate yourself into changing and expect yourself to be happy. Like I said, the solution, it works when you need the extra push, but it's kind of toxic. So be smart and don't overuse it. Hack number 5. Increase the pain of inaction. You don't take action because the cost of not doing it is too low. Therefore, increase the pain of an action. The trick here is to not link the pain to the action itself, but to the inaction of it. Because what we are doing right now is we're associating the pain with the task itself. But the key here is to take this pain and not associate it with doing the task, but to not doing the task. Associate the pain with the consequences of not doing the task. You can ask yourself, what is the negative consequence of not doing the task? For one, it may be the stress of having to do the task later with an even tighter deadline. Or you can catastrophize. What's the worst case scenario that can happen if you don't do the task? Some examples. You continue being unsuccessful. You continue being financially held back. You won't accomplish your goals. You will have to continue this 9-to-5 job that you hate for the rest of your life. You'll be letting yourself down, which crushes your confidence even more. Or you will have a lot of regrets when you're older. All of these thoughts, they hurt, which is a good thing. Because right now you can prevent these consequences of ever happening by taking the action now. But you have to remind yourself of what your life will look like when you don't do it. Because in life, you will experience pain. Either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. It's your decision. Another way you can increase the negative consequences is by adding external factors. You might not feel like doing a task now, but if your life depended on it, I'm sure you could do it in an instant. So how can we utilize this? Put something on the line that would actually kind of hurt you in a safe way. Because we as humans are wired to hate losing something far more than we love gaining something, even when the gain is that much bigger. For example, it feels worse to lose $5 than it would to feel good to gain $5. The easiest thing you can do is to bet money on it. That if you don't do the thing that you promised to do, then you now owe your friend $50. Or you have to donate it to a charity that you despise. A tip here is give them the money beforehand. And they can only give the money back to you once you've done the task. By the story that, again, the YouTuber Screwfless did, is he forced himself to run a marathon. Because if he didn't complete it in a certain amount of time, then his wife would publish a video that would ruin his entire career. Sounds good. He ran a marathon. And the video didn't get published. This is a very extreme example. And I mean, this doesn't sound fun, does it? And you know why it doesn't? It's because it's that powerful. Because doing this hack, giving your friends a large amount of money that would hurt if you lost it, because that would mean that you're actually going to have to do it. And your brain doesn't want to do it, so it convinces you that it's not fun, when in fact it's extremely powerful. Think about it. Extra hack for increasing the pain of an action: create an anti-vision board. You can put images or write sentences of a life that you would absolutely hate to live in, a life that you want to avoid at all costs. Hack number 6: shape your environment. This is one of the easiest ways to make action easier. Our environment is the most important factor in determining our behavior. This is huge. You can set up your environment in such a way that makes it inevitable for you to succeed. Some examples: if you're trying to go to the gym more, lay out your workout clothes the night before and pack your gym bag and place it somewhere where you can see it. If you're trying to work or study more, keep your working space tidy and leave your materials already open, so you don't have to go to your bag and get your books and get your laptop, which adds friction. Just have, if you want to get more into healthy eating, don't bring sweets into your home. Keep fruits and vegetables in spots where you can see them. You can even prepare yourself healthy snacks so that when you do crave something, you have something there you can instantly eat. Or if you're trying to take some supplements and struggle with being consistent and reminding yourself of them, keep them somewhere where you can always see them when you need to take them. For example, next to your toothbrush. And an extra tip here: your environment are also the people that are surrounding you. So watch out who you surround yourself with. A life hack here is to surround yourself with doers. For example, when you go into a library, you're more motivated to study there because everyone else around you is studying. Or when you go to the gym, you're more motivated to push yourself harder because everyone else around you is working out hard and pushing themselves as well. And this energy of the people you surround yourself with fuels you. So surround yourself with people who are doing what you want to be doing. You can join study groups, you could join a running group, go to co-working spaces, or find online communities. And the good thing here is you don't have to surround yourself with people who are doing exactly what you want to be doing. Just surround yourself with people who are doing something productive, who are working on their own projects and goals right next to you. This can be very energizing for each one of you. Now on to the last hack number 7. Leverage social pressure. When you make a promise to your friend, you keep your word. But when you make a promise to yourself, you don't. That's a whole issue in itself, but why not use the fact that we are social creatures, craving the approval from others in our favor? And we can do this this by leveraging social pressure. Instead of it being something that pushes you to do things that you don't want to do, use it in a way that will push you to do the things that you want and need to do. Here's some ways you can use accountability to fuel you a little. Get an accountability partner or join a group where you check in with each other regularly and keep each other, well, accountable. There's even a subreddit for it where you can find this accountability partner or accountability group. It's called r/getmotivatedbuddies. I haven't tried it yet and I heard some good stories about it, and it's free. But there are also some services that you can pay to link you up with an accountability partner or be the accountability partner themselves. Or you can also use peer pressure in a positive way by announcing your goals on social media. Or you can just tell someone that you're going to do something and have them check up on you. And if you can't think of someone to tell, you can even write it in this comment section. And the last reminder that I want to give you, please stay safe. You're watching this video because you're smart and you want to change and you're actually doing something. So don't use any unclarifications on my part as an excuse to allow yourself to do something stupid and then blame it on me. Be smart and take responsibility. And don't self-sabotage yourself. If you're going to use any of these tactics, don't overuse them. Because if you overuse some of them, then they can become a little toxic. They're great if you need to urgently get started on something, but they're not that sustainable. So try to find a deeper reason within yourself to keep yourself going in a more healthy way. Because if you're avoiding something, there's usually something deeper going on. And if you're interested in learning more about that, in my last video I talked about the 6 reasons of why you specifically might be procrastinating and how to deal with each one of these issues. Great! And that's it! Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video. Bye!